I love Matt Hoss. He is great. That's definitely staying in,
Yeah,
isn't
that
it?
is, of course, it's staying in. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mind Meets from Down to Mind. This is a YouTube episode where we interview amazing organisations and the brilliant work they do. I'm Matt Hoss, and my guest today is from Kooth, which is an organisation which offers free, safe, and anonymous support to young people. We're talking to one of their wonderful representatives today, and welcome, Andrew. Hello.
Hello, thank you for having me.
How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, Yeah, good.
How's your day going so far?
Yeah, it's going really well. I thought I'd scrub up, so I've put a shirt on, even though it's only me in the house and no one else can smell it. But yeah, I thought, it's been a busy day already. I've had quite a lot of meetings and presentations, like one after another. But yeah, it's good, still smiling.
Well, thank you for getting dressed up for this YouTube video, because I do exactly the same as well. The other day I went out to put the bins out and I put my fancy shoes on because I was like, whoa, let's go crazy, shall we? Come on. We have to take the small moments at the moment and really enjoy them.
Definitely exciting times. I love putting the bin out. It's one of my hobbies.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Andrew. It's great to have you here. I would love to know more about Kooth. Can you start by telling us a little bit about Kooth and how it was started and what kind of things do Kooth do?
Yeah, so Kooth is a free online service offering emotional and wellbeing support for young people. And that's aged 11 to 18 in the Darlington area, and it's funded by Tees Esk and Weir Valley NHS Foundation.
Very nice. And
so it was basically founded in 2001.
So, what kind of things do you do at Kooth, Andrew?
So my main role is to promote the service of Kooth. So go to different schools, youth groups, colleges, or I can give presentations to promote the service to professionals. So hopefully Darlington Mind will be on the radar to have a professional presentation by myself. Also, we're going to be doing some presentations to GPs as well.
Oh, lovely stuff. Yeah, so I think a lot of people might know about Kooth, and hopefully you're a really amazing service. But this is a very vague question I ask all institutes. And I know yours is kind of in what you do. But how does your service help young people? What do you specifically do to help them?
The main help that we offer young people is the free, safe, and anonymous kind of aspect. So the fact that young people can come sign up to to our website kooth.com, and they can they don't have to let anyone know who they are. So again, it's all anonymous, and I think that's the beauty of it, that there's no negative stigma attached for young people accessing our site. And again, with it being all totally online, young people can access our service from any internet-enabled device. They can access our chat facilities, our messaging, which is just similar to counselling. We've got peer-to-peer support via kind of magazine articles and activities, which again, I'm sure I'll go into a little bit more later on. But yeah, there's so much different support. And I think the fact that the young people have an online community, so if they want to access support via our Kooth forums, they can help each other out. And what's great is that young people are going through things, they're sat there going through things, and the fact that there's other young people feeling exactly the same normalizes everything. Because sometimes when I might message one of my friends and be like, oh, I'm feeling a bit rubbish today, and they'll be like, oh yeah, so am I. And it's just nice to feel that someone else is going through, and it just makes it a little bit more easier to deal with things, and then help you get that support that you need.
Absolutely. And it's so important to have that conversation, and because if we internalize it, we just kind of assume that it's happening onto us and it makes us feel worse. But a problem shared is a problem halved, and if you can both unite over a feeling, it can kind of dispels it as well, I think. And that's a really powerful thing. Is it true that you offer that counseling on there as well? So could people use that as a service as well? So if someone's feeling low, what type of things do people get in touch about? Can it be about anything? Is it all accessible for everyone and anyone?
Yeah, so it's available for anyone who's aged 11 to 18, so for the Darlington area. And that's the kind of the month of their 11th birthday all the way up until the 19th birthday, actually. So
can I get in? Because I'm essentially that age, right?
Well,
I've had a fair few meetings with young people where they've guessed my age at 45, so let's just leave that there. So, but like
45? No.
they guessed it. Yeah, I'm a healthy 27, and we'll just leave that. We'll edit that out. Health, yeah.
Don't go into my age.
Yeah,
Imagine if I shaved as well, I'd look even younger.
We can't go into your age because the number's so long we can't even broadcast it in time. You know what I mean? It's
yeah, just to go back. So the top presenting issues, especially in 2020, are anxiety, self-harm, suicidal thoughts, relationship issues, sadness, and school and college issues. So yeah, as mentioned before, young people can access, which is the chat. So that's counselling. So that's up to an hour a week of counselling sessions or chat sessions. And that would be for up to kind of potentially 6 sessions. And that's, again, all online. So it's all virtually. And that's where they speak to our online wellbeing workers or counsellors, our online team. All of our counsellors have had up to 3 years face-to-face experience. We don't have any kind of volunteers or any trainee counsellors as well.
I just had a quick question, Andrew, in terms of that. We talked about it's all anonymous, which I think is really awesome. But what do you think the strength is to having that anonymity? What's the best thing about that? Why did Kooth choose to do it in that way?
I really struggle to say that word. So
yeah, cheers, thank you
for saying that. I think that the fact that it is anonymous gives young people the freedom to, access that support and access that help. And again, there's no, when we ask people to sign up, we encourage them to use a username that's going to keep them anonymous. So no gamer tags, no social media name, no pet names, nothing that will keep them identifiable. And I think that's the beauty, that young people can just access our service. Again, if a young person was at risk or at harm, again, we could look at finding out identifiable information. But I think it's important to know that a young person can go on there and they might not want to access face-to-face support. They might just want to get things off the chest. And again, that could be accessing our chat, or it could be accessing our messaging service as well.
Yeah, and
which is like, that's an instant message. So the chat is like an instant messaging feature where the users and a member of our online team will kind of chat back to back as well. But also we have a direct messaging service. So if it's not convenient for a young person to wait in the chat queue, or, they were up at 12 o'clock at night and they wanted extra support, and, they could just send out a message to our team, which would be picked up, which is really great. I think we've got that kind of 365-day support as well. So for the chat, the times are 12 noon till 10 o'clock at night. That's Monday to Fridays. And on a weekend, that's 6 o'clock till 10 o'clock. And we have 365 days of the year counselling. So even on Christmas Day, young people had support, which is amazing. When a lot of services close down over Christmas, the young people still have support as well. And the times are a little bit different on bank holidays, but I think it's really important to know that young people do have that support all the time. But all of our other great features are online all the time as well. So if a young person did want to access, our articles or our activities, that's all on there as well.
Well, that's really good. And it's great that there's a consistency there as well, because otherwise it can happen anytime, and especially over like things over Christmas where we're all feeling a little bit lower than usual anyway. So I think it's a great to have that. But yeah, so what do you think some of the biggest pressures that young people face? What do you think? Because obviously your service really is helping these young people. Why do you think they're coming to you, and what the stresses that they face?
Yeah, so I think if we kind of had this question before COVID-19 and lockdown, it would have been probably a lot of a different answer. And I know kind of during lockdown, quite a lot of especially in Darlington in the northeast, the main presenting issues was, especially in Mayish time, was sleeping issues was quite high for young people. So again, that kind of shows you where we're at. But it's usually, like as I mentioned before, the main presenting issues like anxiety, self-harm and suicidal thoughts are quite high up there.
So what do you think, following on from that, Andrew, what do you think is the biggest misconception facing towards young people and their mental health? Because obviously there's a lot of stigma around that issue, and there's a lot of people who have a lot of opinions, but might not necessarily be correct. What's one of the biggest misconceptions in your eyes?
I think the biggest misconception is, young people not talking and having those conversations and being able to have them comfortably with, professionals, parents, guardians, teachers, whoever. Things I've got a lot better with kind of mental health and having the conversations. And I think it's certain generations that's made, these conversations happen. I know when I was at school, we never had much talk of mental health, and it was probably a taboo subject, or you probably didn't know much about it, to be honest. And for me, the fact that we can have these conversations, especially young males as well, having these conversations, being able to open up, talk, and there's that whole stigma around males and, being men and being macho and stuff. And,
as we are both quite macho, aren't we?
Yeah, we definitely are. We don't cry and have any feelings or anything, do we?
Zero feelings. Just all it is biceps. Bam, bam, bam. That's all I care about. That and monster trucks, yo. You know what I mean? Am I cool, Andrew?
I love a good cry and I love a good monster truck. The little ones in monster trucks at the minute, so I've got quite a good knowledge of monster trucks.
Definitely the title for this episode is I love a good cry and I love a monster truck.
We've got some monster trucks to hand, Bigfoot and zombie and stuff.
Well, I actually think that's a really relevant point, though. Like, I think this is slightly tangential to what I was thinking, but yeah. How is it being a male working in mental health? Because I feel that there's another layer of the role where if you're because we're both male mental health workers, we both worked in similar jobs and the same jobs. And how have you felt in your own journey in that way?
Yeah, I think especially we go to a lot of schools or youth groups, and especially like in youth work settings, there's not as many males there, or especially in mental health. I'm quite lucky because I do work with another male, so in our team we have got another male, and with Kooth we've got like male working groups where we look at how we kind of get more young males involved in accessing service. Because so again, just a bit of background information, Kooth was founded in 2001 by a lady called Elaine Bowesfield in Stockport. Basically, Elaine set it up because she wanted to engage young people that might fly under the radar, that might not access the service, that are seldomly heard, and that's why Kooth was developed. And that was just in Elaine's kitchen in Stockport, and now it's the biggest mental health online service in the country, which is amazing.
There's a sweet irony there where it started in the kitchen and now in 2021 it remains in the kitchen as well, so in everyone's kitchen. But yeah, so how has your life, Andrew, changed since working at Kooth? What have you learned something new about yourself, or is there anything that's really been eye-opening for you?
I think, again, so I am quite new to the role, and what I've learned is the online kind of facilities, and just being able to develop and run everything online. I suppose everyone's the same with the sort, like you mentioned, or working from home, working in the kitchens, but I've got a little bit better on Zoom, got a nice little setup with a posh mic as well, so hopefully
absolutely. Yeah, you sound good, but like I might have to turn off your videos soon as well. Like there might have to be a podcast.
So my life's changed. I think for me, I'm passionate about working, with young people. I'm passionate about working with young people with mental health and promoting the service. And I think one thing that's massively my life has changed is that I'm on like a quest just to promote Kooth up and down, my areas, and to speak to as many young people. I've had to learn how to edit. I've had to learn how to record my presentations, do some voiceover work, stuff that I'd never thought I would be doing. But again, the pandemic's forced my hand a little bit, just so that I can get through to as many people. and hopefully I don't sound as dull as I think I do when I'm presenting.
It's true. Like we had to learn so many new skills very fast. You know, like we've had to use so much new software we're not used to. We had to think of new ideas which were alien to us, and also be good at them very fast. It's very hard to do that. But yeah, I think it's important. But then again, I also think I think we can get quite complacent as well. I think it's good that as mental health workers, we are learning new formats, which everyone's learning as well. Like a year ago, at the time of recording this, if you were to ask someone what Zoom was, they wouldn't know what it is. And yeah, I just think it's important for us to be at the forefront of new technologies and knowing how to use them, like places like Twitch, which a lot of young people use, places like Discord, which is good for communities and for hearing young people. I think it's yeah, it's good about kind of keeping relevant in these ever-changing times.
Yeah, definitely, 100% agree with that, Matt.
So, Andrew, what kind of support can Kooth offer young people, and yeah, what kind of activities can you do which people might be interested in?
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about, so on Kooth, we've got something called the Kooth activities, which is 18 short, snappy, fun, engaging activities that we've got. So I can send you some of them. But one that I'm going to talk through is creating a coping box. Yeah, so there's this short 6-step snappy activity. So the step one could be find a box of any shape, size, an old shoe box, decorate it with colors, pictures, or quotes that are important to you. So have you got your box, Matt?
Well, I wasn't prepared to bring a box, but so what, Andrew? What kind of quotes would you have in your box? What kind of images would you have? Like, what kind of things do you like?
Got to get pizza in, haven't we, Matt? So pizza makes me happy. I love pizza.
Really? Tell us more about it.
We won't get into the ham and pineapple debate or anything like that. That's another podcast, another video.
But yeah, so we have the coping box. Yep.
Yep. So quotes. Quote something that's important to yourself. Pick something that you might like to look at. So it could be something with a nice smell. You could put a nice rose in there. Something that's nice to touch. Could be scent a candle.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite song list. Mm-hmm. A nice photo. Put a photo of you and me in there, Matt.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be nice.
And then use your items in your box for as long as you need. And when you feel things are difficult, you could pull out that list of music. You could look at that special photo and remember the nice times. And then it's important that you can notice any changes, the way you feel, whilst you're using your coping box, and go back to them and just think, I felt like happy before. Mm-hmm. And think about, how you feel using your box. Another great one, again, I mentioned this in a different video, but creating a good mood playlist. Mm-hmm. So again, I know you're really, really into your music, and I think
absolutely
that's a giveaway. But I like music, and I listen to quite a lot of music. But what I've noticed I do, and depending on what mood I'm in or what mood I want to be in, I would listen to certain artists or certain types of music or certain. So if I'm feeling a bit low and a bit flat, I'll listen to a little bit of reggae. Bob Marley usually chips me up. And to be fair, I like any Bob Marley, and I find that, helps chills me out, brings me to a nice place, reminds me of being back in the motherland of Trinidad, with the family and stuff. It just takes me to good places, and that's what's nice. So yeah, the good mood playlist. Think about, songs that make you feel happy, that takes you back to a good memory, makes you smile, or makes you want to dance. I bet you like a good Macarena, don't you, Matt?
You got me. Hey, Macarena.
When you create your good mood playlist by picking up to 5 to 10 songs, listen to the good mood playlist when you feel that you might need it. Notice how you feel when you listen to your playlist as well. I was speaking to another colleague, and they said that they've actually set up a few lockdown playlists as well, which I really like the idea of. Again, just helping anything to help you increase your well-being. I know you like running and exercising. Have you managed to get out much?
Honestly, to be very honest, I think lockdown is very demotivating, and especially in winter times, it's having worked all day, it's quite hard to get out in the evening. But I feel that you got to keep out regular and then not set too much pressure on yourself to do the right things. Make sure you get the well-being comes first.
Yeah.
So Andrew, when is the right time for someone to get in touch with Kooth?
To be fair, because there's so many, so many different activities or different support on Kooth, anyone can access Kooth. So you don't have to wait until you're quite desperate and you're needing that counselling. You can just come on and dip in and dip out. It's the ownership is on yourself. I would encourage people to sign up to Kooth.com and have a play around, have a look, and if you don't want the chat or the messaging service, again, you don't have to, but there's so many great articles on there. There's some information. The Kooth forums are really good as well. And I think that's the beauty of it, that especially with the Kooth magazines. So the Kooth magazines, 75% of the content is written for young people, by young people, and it's all checked. Everything's pre-moderated on our site. So again, that's to make sure, nothing inappropriate is going there. And young people write articles. They can write articles around anything they want. So it could be some spoken word on there, some poetry, creative writing. They could write an article on the good side of gaming, or they could write articles on more kind of serious topics like self-harm or body image or generic mental health. And our online team as well, our clinical team, do write articles also to help support the young people as well. So there's that, there's the activities, there's the Kooth forums on there, there's loads of different things. So I would definitely suggest, you don't have to wait till you potentially have a mental health issue. You can just go on there and just access the support, and just have that online community is nice.
And just to wrap up before we finish, and this might be something that we already touched upon, but if someone's watching this and they're concerned about their friend who might have mental health issues, or they're worried about their friend, what would you recommend for them to do, and how could Kooth help in that way?
Yeah, so the great thing about Kooth is you don't need to wait for any professional to refer you over. There's no loads of paperwork. Literally all you need to do is just signpost them over to Kooth.com, and then the young person or your friend or whoever would sign up, and it takes approximately 5 minutes. It's a really quick process. We take some basic information, but nothing too private or confidential.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Andrew. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you and Kooth here. We down to mind. We absolutely love having you. But where can people learn more about your services and get more mental health awareness from your website?
Yeah, so if they have a look at Kooth.com, they can find information on there. Kooth, is it going to go up?
Hopefully they'll go there. Kooth. One of the two places, we'll figure it out. But
I think the other thing as well is important that, like, I don't know the demographic of people watching this, but for parents or guardians or people that might know somebody in that age range as well, and it's important that they've got that knowledge and they can help support the young people. And what I'm finding a lot is we're working a lot with parents and parent care forums and stuff, and being able to offer the parents, especially in the current climate. I say this a lot, but in the current climate, a lot of young people are finding it difficult, and the parents are finding it difficult. And in Darlington, we're lucky there's quite a lot of support agencies out there, and there's just a lot of kind of different mental health organisations. And again, Kooth work in collaboration with all these different organisations. We signpost to, for example, Darlington Mind and the other great services.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think for parents as well, just to know that if you did have your child, parents or guardians had a child that wanted to, access Kooth, literally just signpost them over Kooth.com. Simple as that.
Brilliant stuff. Well, thank you ever so much to my wonderful guest, Andrew from Kooth. Thank you. What's your opinion of Matt Hoss?
I love Matt.
Thank you. You said it like Borat.
I know. I did that on purpose. How long is it going to take you to edit this?
To be fair, it's quite easy. So, to be honest, we're not keeping much of it. So it's just one big edit.
Hello, my name is Andrew.
End the video.